Hey everyone! Today I'm going to talk about my favorite movies. I have a list of favorite movies in a Word document. There's 34. That's ridiculous, right? Just like 2 years ago, I was just like, hey, I'm going to make a list of my favorite movies. And I did. And ever since then, I've just been adding movies onto the list whenever I felt that they were worthy. And yeah. So I have movies here that are my favorite movies that I have. I don't have all of the movies on this list, but I will show you the ones that I have. And let's just get started, yeah? I don't want to make this video too long, but I just thought this was a good idea that I would say, hey, these are my favorite movies. And you're probably going to see somewhat of like a theme going on. I don't know, I am an 18-year-old girl, so I'm probably interested in certain movies more than other movies. Yeah, let's get started. First movie I'm going to show you is my second favorite movie, which is Psycho. I didn't know anything about this movie other than this is the movie that Norman Bates comes from, like the character Norman Bates. And obviously with the title like Psycho, you're like, okay, someone's crazy. Yeah. I didn't know anything about it, and that's like the best way you can watch a movie. If you don't know anything about a movie, like, watch it. Because sometimes I get way too excited, or my anticipation is just way too high, and then I watch a movie and I'm like, oh my god, it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. And it's like a little disappointing, but you're still like, I really liked it because my anticipation is like so high. I don't know, that's the way I get sometimes. It's so good. If you don't know anything about it, like, watch it. Watch it. And everything that Alfred Hitchcock did for this movie, took all the books off the well, not all of them, but as much as he could off the shelves, so people didn't know the ending. Everything he did with the theater so that the ending wouldn't be spoiled, or so that, you know, people weren't going in and out of the theater. First film to show a toilet? Crazy. Psycho. Now, this movie is my favorite movie. And Psycho was my favorite movie. There is a fly buzzing around my head. It's really tiny, but it's really annoying. But anyway, sorry. Psycho was my favorite movie until I saw this movie, which is Purple Noon. Also, I usually say Plein Soleil, but it is also Purple Noon, Plein Soleil, same thing. Kind of. Actually, I have no idea where that translation comes from, because Plein Soleil means blazing sun. Anyway, this movie's so good. I watched this, Valentine's Day weekend of 2013. I had first, looked up the Criterion Collection in December of 2012, and I was like, okay, I just have to know what this is. Looked it up, and then I was, in awe. How did I not look this up before? By before, I mean within the past year that I had been, because it's very recently, actually, that I've been interested in, classic movies and stuff. So, obviously, December of 2012 is when I first got into Criterion Collection, and Valentine's Day weekend of 2013, I was just on Hulu Plus, and I was like, I'm gonna watch Criterion films, knowingly, because I had already seen, a couple, but I didn't know what the Criterion Collection was at that point. Not that that's important, so I was gonna watch a few Criterion films, and from, the Criterion area of Hulu Plus. And this was one of them, and so, literally the reason, this sounds ridiculous, but the reason why I chose this movie was because of the, thumbnail picture that it shows on Hulu Plus. I have an app, or whatever you want to call it, on my Blu-ray player for Hulu Plus and Netflix and other things. So, the thumbnail picture, that's what I'm going to call it. I don't know if it's called something else. But it's of Alain Delon, shirtless, steering the boat. And I was like, he's attractive, I'm going to watch this movie. And so I did. But I was also thinking, oh gosh, this takes place on a boat, doesn't it? I'm probably not going to like it that much. And it's my favorite movie, so I'm not ashamed to have that be the reason why I chose to watch this movie. Yeah, and Criterion release is amazing. The special features on here make me love it even more. Just the things that Renee Clément does as the director. I don't know. It's brilliant though. I think so. This is the story of the talented Mr. Ripley. If you didn't know, I really suggest this movie. Everyone check it out. It's French though, 'cause I know like some people don't like foreign films or have problems with reading subtitles all the time, but it's my favorite movie. Next, the rest of the list is just like jumbled around, but I would have to say that Breakfast at Tiffany's is my third favorite film because I watch it so many times. Like, this is my go-to film. If I'm like, hey, I want to watch a movie, it's most likely going to be Breakfast at Tiffany's. I just really love Audrey Hepburn and her playing Holly Golightly. She's so good. Gosh. I have this on DVD. I have this upgraded Blu-ray version that I got somewhat recently. I have the novella that I read after I watched the movie. Yeah. It was okay. I probably should have read it before, but I didn't know that it was a novella before I watched the movie. So, I mean, it's a classic. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Next movie, Rebel Without a Cause. My favorite James Dean film. I love James Dean. This is just a DVD because I'm not going to get down my James Dean box set. Oh my god, I just connect with this movie so much. And James Dean, Natalie Wood, Sal Mineo, they're all so good in this movie. I cry. I probably cry at a ridiculous amount of these, like, probably half. No, not half. But a good handful. Oh, gosh. It's so good, though. It's so good. I already said it's my favorite James Dean film, right? Well, it is. Like, this should be a very popular movie now. That's what I think. Amongst the teenage group. I just really like it. It's so good. Okay. Next film is Pierre Le Fou, and this was my favorite movie probably in, like, I think my junior year, so like 2011. Like, until I saw Psycho. And this is directed by Jean-Luc Godard, who is one of two of my favorite directors. I go back and forth all the time, so I just say I have two favorite directors. I feel like you're on an adventure when you watch this film. And it's not my favorite Jean-Luc Godard film now that I have seen most of his well-known films. I've seen a very good amount. Not all of them that are well-known. Gosh, not all of them at all, and not all of them that are well-known. Yeah, so I have a couple other ones that I will show next, that they are on my favorite movies list, and I don't know if I can choose a favorite Jean-Luc Godard film. It's difficult. I'd have to watch the three that I'm about to talk about right now. So those are, I don't have one of them, which is A Woman is a Woman, but Masculine, Feminine, and Band of Outsiders are the other two. I think Masculine, Feminine, and A Woman is a Woman are very similar. They have like a certain style and plot almost that I just think are very similar, which is why they're both on my list. And Band of Outsiders, I feel is just like so different and iconic. And I really, really like it. This might be my favorite Jean-Luc Godard film. I can't say that for sure. I might have to go back and watch the three movies and then decide. Something I really like about Jean-Luc Godard though is his dialogue. I just really like his dialogue, and there's so many things that he says that I'm like, yes. Totally agree with, or I don't know, it's kind of weird to explain. some of his films are like way too political for me, but other than that part, I love his dialogue, and it's insane to think that he like wrote the like script the morning of or the night before they filmed. That's just crazy to me. Sorry, my nose is like super itchy right now, and I'm really trying not to like itch it. I have to get some water though. Hold on. Okay, next is oh shoot. Yeah, I'll talk about this one first. Sorry. Next is Belle de Jour, which is one of the other films that I watched when I watched Purple Noon, that Valentine's Day weekend. Oh, the color is changing in my room. Oh well. Yes. I didn't know anything about it. I chose to watch this film because this was the like thumbnail picture. I was like, look at this. It's art. It's beautiful. I wish I could do this. And I watched it and I was like, oh, okay, she just became like a high-end prostitute. Okay. But I just went with it and I really enjoy it. And it was the first film that I saw with Catherine Deneuve, who is probably one of my favorite actresses. Or at least, I don't know, I feel like I always have like a favorite, like, classic list of movies or actors and actresses or directors, and then there's always like a contemporary list of like the same thing. But yeah, I love Catherine Deneuve. Catherine Deneuve. The other movie that I watched that weekend I don't have. It is Les Clis, which just came out on Blu-ray. Is it Blu-ray or dual format? From Criterion. They upgraded it. I don't know whether it's dual format or just Blu-ray. I think it's dual format though. Yeah. And again, I just watched that one because I liked the cute little thumbnail picture, which is the cover of the film, the Criterion release. It's just really cute. And there are a few lines in it that I'm just like, oh my god. Those lines are so good. Oh. I just love it when you can watch a movie and there are certain lines that like stand out and you can like repeat them, or they're just something that like really speaks to you. Which is like all of these movies that I'm showing you. I'm like, this movie just speaks to me. Next on my list, I'm going to show you two because they're by my other favorite director, Wes Anderson. So, The Royal Tenenbaums and The Darjeeling Limited. The Royal Tenenbaums is my favorite Wes Anderson film, but I watched The Darjeeling Limited more. I don't know why. So, they're both on my favorites list. Rushmore and Moonrise Kingdom are also on my favorites list. Rushmore was the first Wes Anderson film that I watched, not even knowing that it was like Wes Anderson. I watched it in like 7th grade with my older brother. There's a handful of movies that are actually on my favorite movies list. We watched both of these as well, and a few other ones that are on the list that I'll talk about. We watched together, and it's kind of funny how when I watched them the first time with him, I was like, okay, these are good movies, but they didn't really stick out in my mind until I started getting into these type of movies again. Well, kind of again, kind of not again. And I was like, no way! Like, I watched that with my older brother. And now they stick out like so much, obviously, because Wes Anderson is one of my favorite directors. Yes, and Moonrise Kingdom, I don't have because I'm just waiting for the Criterion release, which will happen. A lot of people don't know this, and I don't know how it's not well known, but Wes Anderson has a really good relationship with Criterion. I'm so not editing that out, by the way. I really don't like editing videos. Sorry about that. Kind of. Yeah, so he has a really good relationship with Criterion, and he has a deal with them that all of his films will eventually be a Criterion release. We just have to wait a couple of years after its original DVD/Blu-ray release from the studios. So Moonrise Kingdom coming up. It's got to be announced soon, or hopefully it'll come out next year at the latest, like next year. And then obviously Grand Budapest Hotel, like we have a while for that, because that just came out in theaters. Yes. And the next film is Emily. I don't know if you noticed as well, I have a lot of French films on here. Like, Cleese is Italian, though. So there's, like, one Italian film and a bunch of French and a bunch of American. So, Emily, this is just, like, the cutest movie. This one and A Woman is a Woman, like, tied for cutest movies ever. Ever. And that's literally all I'm going to say about it. It's just so cute. Yes, next movie, The Outsiders. I love this movie so much. It's one of my favorite books as well. All of them, I love them. And I so cry, like, during the movie, when I read the book. I like movies that I cry in. But that means you're, like, really connected to it and passionate about it, and it's just there, you know? It's so good, though. This recently came out on Blu-ray. I have the complete novel edition, which is the edition that came out on Blu-ray. So, pick that up. Yeah. Pick it up. Similar movie I have next is Stand By Me. This is, again, just one of those films that I really like. I don't even know what to say about it. I think I like this more, like, and The Outsiders, I think. There's so many movies, though, that I watch that the next time I watch it, sorry, getting tongue-tied too often, the next time I watch it, I like it more than I did before, and again, and again, and again. So, Stand By Me. Next one I recently got, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Oh, that was a close one. I so thought that my case was broken. So good. It makes... I've only seen this twice. I just watched it this morning, and then the first time I watched it was when it first came out on DVD. Yeah. Like, I just bawled this morning. I bawled. This character, Charlie, he's, like, the greatest character. The greatest character, and, I adore this film, and I adore this book. Yeah, be prepared on that one. Next, I have, yes, The Way, Way Back. This is a recent movie as well. It's just one of those, like, feel-good movies, I think. The characters are great. And look at that cover, too. That's a really cool cover. Just watch it, okay? Yeah, watch it. Next is a movie that I don't have. It is Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. And I didn't even think that movie looked good. One day, I don't even know why I recorded it. I think it was because it has Keira Knightley in it. Yeah, but I recorded it and I watched it and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Why didn't I want to see this? I don't know why I didn't want to see it, but it's like one of my favorite movies, obviously, if it's on this list. It's enjoyable, and like one of the last lines is like my favorite line of the film, and then also like one of my favorite lines of like in movies. It is, Penny, you're my favorite thing. Oh my god, it's just so cute. Okay. And then the next film I also don't have, Stoker. I really like the style of that film. I that's one of the reasons why it's on the list, is because I just love its style. It's awesome. And that's just saying, that's another reason why I like Wes Anderson, is like he has a distinct style. You can just tell when you're watching a Wes Anderson film. Yeah. And Stoker also reminds me of Shadow of a Doubt. So that's really cool as well. The next one I also don't have. It is called A Royal Affair, and I think it's on Netflix. and it's about this queen who had an affair with her like physician. It's oh shoot, it's from Denmark. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it's about that. And so it's like a based off true events. Really interesting, really pretty movie too. Like since it's one of the movies that's more of like a period drama. It's enjoyable, I think. I like it a lot. I'm into those types of movies and TV shows though. Like I really liked The Tudors and The Borgias, which were Showtime TV shows, series. Next film, I don't have. My brother has the Steelbook, which is good for him. It's Zodiac. That movie's so good. That movie's so good. I got closer to my screen. Gosh, it's just one of those movies that, like, you know, when the main character, or maybe not even the main character, just one of the characters is, like, figuring things out, and you're like, oh my god. Oh my god. Like, I love that feeling. But it's, like, so creepy when, like, the movie's over. Oh my god. At the end of Zodiac, they used the hurdy-gurdy, man. The hurdy-gurdy, man. They used that song at the end for the credits, and literally I cannot listen to that song anymore without thinking of Zodiac. It's just, like, oh, they made such a, like, cool-sounding song, and, like, good song. Like, a creepy, creepy song. Oh my god. Okay, so Zodiac's so good, though. So good. The next movie, like, this is a weird transition. Cry Baby. Johnny Depp, John Waters. My favorite character is Wanda. She's awesome. She's awesome. I don't even know what else to say about this. Cry Baby. Sorry, that sounded not good. I don't even know if you could have heard that. Next movie. Alright. I'm gonna try to make it faster. Evil Dead. This is like one. Okay, I don't know if Zodiac is necessarily considered a scary movie or a horror movie. Scary movie, yeah. I don't know. It's very suspenseful, so it's more of like one of those crime thriller mystery things. But Evil Dead is like the only actually scary movie on my list. I just love it a lot, and I recently got the Steelbook of it, which just came out like a little bit less than a month ago. I really like it. I'm a big fan of scary movies though. So it is a little difficult to put a scary movie on the list, I think. I just like them so much that I'd be like, okay, this one and this one and this one and this one. My favorite series though is A Nightmare on Elm Street. Just letting you know. Next movie is, I have this movie. Oh, dang it, I forgot to grab it. I already filmed this video once, and I forgot to grab it after I was done with it. I Heart Huckabees. Wow. It just makes you think, and it seems a little confusing, but, like, I've never been confused when I was watching it, like, ever. Even the first time I watched it, I was like, I totally understand what's going on. I totally do. And my brother was like, what? I just like Mark Wahlberg. And my dad was like, it was good, but I had no idea what was going on the entire time. I just like it. It's kind of weird that it's directed by David O. Russell, and I was like, American Hustle, I Heart Huckabees. Those seem so different. Next is Coco Avant Chanel. Audrey Tautou is just gorgeous in this film. I really like it. I do, well, I don't know if this is considered a biopic. I don't know what's considered a biopic anymore. Or what else you would call a movie that's, like, based off a person. I don't know. But I really like those types of movies. So, that one is one of my favorites. Next is Girl Interrupted. I read the book, watched the movie. I have a text. My phone just vibrated on the floor. Gosh, Angelina Jolie's amazing in this. Like, so good. I just really enjoy this, and this is one of my best friend's favorite movie, actually. It is her favorite movie. This should have a Blu-ray release. I mean, come on. Nope, just kidding. Next one on my, I'm just looking at the list. I don't have it. It is called The Spectacular Now. And I wish I read the, I was itching my legs. I wish I read the book first, but I still want to read the book. And I want the movie too. I really like it. I don't even know how to describe that movie right now. Spectacular Now. The next movie I have is Blue is the Warmest Color. I know that this movie, people are going to be like, some people are going to be like, really, that's one of your favorite movies? Yes, it's one of my favorite movies. It's, oh my god, it's so real. That's what I think. There's so much glare on my face right now. Like, shadow. It's so real, and I love the two actresses that play the main characters, Lea Seydoux and Adele Exarchopoulos. I always say it quietly to myself first, so I make sure I'm saying it right. Yeah. I really like it though, and I'm not one of the I don't know, certain scenes, like, I just don't care. Like, I just see it in an artistic way. Sometimes it is, like, too much. And especially if you're watching with, like, family members, you're like, I'm so uncomfortable right now, it's ridiculous. Like, the level of uncomfortability is just it's gone way past its point. But, I mean, like, this is a movie, it's French. I'm the only one in my family that speaks French, and they don't really like foreign language films anyway, so, and I don't know, it's just a movie that I would watch. So, I'm watching it alone, like, it's not awkward. I really like it. Next, I have to, like, look over my movies to see my list. The next movie is Factory Girl, and this is about Edie Sedgwick, who is my hero, and this movie is so good. So good. I watched this is one of the movies that I watched, with my brother in, like, 7th or 8th grade. What did we watch? We watched this movie, we watched I Heart Huckabees, we watched Rushmore, we watched The Royal Tenenbaums, we watched The Darjeeling Limited. Those are ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah. Those are all on this list. It's so good. Sienna Miller as Edie Sedgwick and Guy Pearce as Andy Warhol. Brilliant. Brilliant. This deserves a Blu-ray release. I think it deserves, it deserves, like, so much more, like, hype than it has, at least currently. I don't know, speaking as a person who, this was my favorite movie for a long time. And that's all the movies that I have that are my favorites. I also really love Lola, which I recently watched. It's a Jacques Demy film, so it's going to be in that collection from Criterion coming out in July, I think. Yeah, super enjoyable, and I really like how all the movies, well, at least the movies that I've seen of his, all the characters, they, like, intertwine, and they're all connected in some way, and I really like that. Then Welcome to the Dollhouse, I rented from Netflix, and that's definitely more of, like, a teenage girl type of movie, but I don't know. Anyone can watch it, obviously. I just really liked it. I wasn't really in the mood to watch it when I watched it, and I was hooked once I got, like, 3 minutes into it. And the last one I have to talk about is The Fault in Our Stars. Indescribable. I read the book when it first came out, and I saw the movie the day it came out in theaters. So, like, a week ago. Oh my gosh. Except I'm probably not going to upload this until, like, next week. I don't know. Indescribable. Indescribable. The Fault in Our Stars. It's... I don't have words. Be prepared to cry, though. I think everyone was expecting that, though. I'd hope so. Yeah. So, this is 10 minutes shorter than my first try. My favorite movies. Tell me what your favorite movies are. Obviously, it doesn't have to be this long of a list. I just thought, hey, why not make this video? Tell me what you think of my favorite movies. I really like comments, and I don't get a lot of comments, although I probably don't have a lot of views either. Anyway, have the best day. Have the best day. Unless you're watching this at night, then tomorrow have the best day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Comment, like I said before, and I will see you next time. Bye! I'm sure that there's like a common theme among a lot of my favorite films, being like an 18-year-old girl. Currently, at least. Actually, I'll be 19 in like a week. Oh my god, a week! That's crazy! No, a week and a day. A week and a day. Saturday. Oh my god. 19. Oh, wow. Okay. Rebel Without a Cause. James Dean is amazing in this. Everyone's amazing in it. Everyone's amazing in it. I haven't done that whispering thing in a while.